Idonno Jack. Today I'm going to talk about how to use your band so that you have the right level of resistance when you're doing an exercise and that you max out or reach failure in the right rep range. If you watch my workouts, I'll often give you a rep range. I'll say, when you're doing this set, shoot for 10 to 15 reps. And that means you want to do as many reps as you can possibly do till you can't do any more, and you want that number to be somewhere between 10 and 15. Finding the right resistance with resistance bands is not quite as easy as it is with weights. Weights, obviously, you know, if you can't do enough reps, it's one set of dumbbells, put them down, you get a lighter set. But with resistance bands, there's basically 4 things you need to consider in order to get the resistance right, and here they are. Obviously, the first step is just to get the right band. If you're doing my workouts, you probably have a set of resistance bands that consist of 4 or 5 bands. They all come in different thicknesses and different weights. The thinner bands are lighter, provide less resistance. The thicker and heavier bands provide greater resistance. The first thing you need to do is pick the right band. And if you're shooting for 10 to 15 reps, and you know as soon as you pick the band up, you could easily do 25 or 30 reps with that band, you need to use something heavier. But picking the right band is only going to be an approximation. It's only going to get you in the vicinity of where you need to be. After you need the right band, you're going to need to fine-tune the level of adjustment. One of the first techniques you'll use to get at the right level of resistance is just to adjust your hand place. If you watch my videos, you'll know that I do many exercises without using the handles on the band. Let's suppose we're doing front to delta extension. Now, that's an exercise where I tell you to hold the band about shoulder width apart and put your arms out directly in front of your chest. With this exercise, you're going to stretch the band apart until the band rests across your chest. Now, if you start doing this exercise and you can tell right away that the resistance is just too heavy, you aren't going to make 10 to 15 reps. You just make an easy adjustment. Just move your hands out a tiny little bit, even an inch or so, will make a very big adjustment in the amount of resistance. If you have your hands here, and you're only going to be able to get 6 or 7 reps, a good chance just by spreading them apart another inch or 2 will put you in the 10 to 15 rep range. The second thing you're going to do is adjust your feet. And this is probably going to be the technique you're going to use most often when you're doing an exercise where you're using the handles. One easy example is standing bicep curls. When you do these, you generally have your hand on the handle and you've got the band underneath both of your feet. Now if you start doing those bicep curls and you find out the resistance is just too light, the simplest way is just make an adjustment by spreading your feet out a little bit farther. Just like with the hand adjustment, even an inch or 2 can make a substantial difference in the amount of resistance. And of course, the opposite is true. If you find that the resistance is too heavy, just move your feet in a little bit closer, and you're going to find that the resistance is substantially lighter. If you've got the band under both feet, and you think you've got way too much resistance, then an easy adjustment is just to take 1 foot out. If you only got the band underneath 1 foot, you're going to have quite a bit lighter resistance than if you've got both feet down there and spread apart. So the last way you're going to be able to adjust the resistance or the intensity of your reps is to change the speed at which you do the reps. Let me show you real quickly. Let's suppose we're doing some presses and we're shooting for 10 to 15 reps. Now if you start doing them and you find that the resistance is just too light, you know you're going to be able to do way more than 15 reps, slow down the speed at which you do the reps. The slower you go, the more intense the rep will be and the fewer you're going to be able to complete. So if we're able to do 20 at 6-second reps, slowing the rep down to about 8 seconds means you're probably only going to get about 10 or 11 in. And of course the opposite is true. If you start out doing a set and it just seems like it's too hard, pump them out a little bit faster. The faster you do the reps, the less intense it'll be because there'll be less time under tension, and the more likely you're going to make it through and get the desired amount of reps. Having said that, let me add a caveat. Don't get too bent out of shape about the exact number of reps. I give you a broad range because, in fact, the exact number of reps doesn't make that much difference. There just isn't enough science out there to tell you that 10 reps works better than 12 reps or 15 reps. What we're trying to do in each one of these exercises is fatigue our muscles to the maximum extent possible. So the most important thing is that you want to go to failure. You want to do it till you can't do anymore. You want to try and get that number in the rep range that I recommend. Well, there you go. That's our video for today. I hope you enjoyed it. This is Idonno Jack signing off.